students to test anxiety. If you do this before testing, they improve because it removes the distraction for them. When they are centered in their body and become intentional about where they are in present times, they have less stress. It is especially powerful for students who are experiencing trauma. This helps again with that higher cognitive function, that higher executive function. And I'll look at that here in a moment a little bit more, but students are experiencing any type of trauma, this is helpful for them to become centered in their work in school. Also, it helps them navigate social pressures. Because when you're centered in your body, and you're more mindful of your own awareness, you become less, what's the word I'm looking for? Like less, you don't have to manage so much with the stress of the social setting. And like I said, the larger classrooms, it's behavior management. So when you do this, you want students to calm down. Because when you do something in the classroom, or if you're going into the classroom, they give you moving into the classroom, right? You go from classroom to classroom, and you stay in class. This makes it calm down. So here's the strategy. For example, let's move on. All right, let's practice. Okay. I am going to read a script. We're going to do mindfulness together. Okay. All right. This is only 3 minutes. And I want to guide you through an exercise which aims to produce an introduction to some basic elements of mindfulness, which is posture, relaxation, body awareness, and breathing. All right, let's be quiet. Close your eyes. Everyone, be quiet. Everyone, be quiet. Close your eyes. Let's begin by taking a moment to allow your body to settle. We're doing the activity. Close your eyes. Allow your body to settle. Find a comfortable position. Allow your spine to be long with a natural curve. You can close your eyes or keep them open with a soft gaze towards your feet. Let your belly and shoulders. Today, I got you through a practice to envision positive. And they have other types of positive future other times. It's a chance to connect with that place inside us that wants to work towards a life of meaning and fulfillment. Before we start, take a full breath. A long 5 seconds. Now, allow your breath to find a natural rhythm. In and out. In and out. Allow yourself to be fully present, resting in your breath. Repeat the questions I offer to yourself. Ask yourself, what kind of future do I feel deeply good towards? Ask yourself, what type of future do I feel deeply good towards? Now notice all the feelings that come to your mind. alleviating calmness. Breathing, posture, relaxation. You can do that for your students and yourself. This was not even 5 minutes. You can do that when you start your class. And there's all kinds of topics that you can do. Imagine you're doing great on a test, or imagine you're at home, at bed, or whatever. But you just take them through some breathing exercises to help calm them and prepare them for the lesson. So this is a visual activity, which is an illustration of how mindfulness can impact behavior. So if we think about mindfulness without, typically there's stimulus, right? Here's a test. That's the stimulus, a test. Students just react, right? They get the test and then they're immediately just answering the questions. However, with mindfulness, they get this text, the stimulus, they practice mindfulness, just 5 minutes of breathing, then they react to the test. It is evidence-based. It works. It works. You will see such an improvement in your students if you just take, not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes to help practice just some deep breathing. Take a minute or so to think of an experience you had in the classroom or elsewhere when you reacted in a way that you later regretted. Share it with your partner, someone sitting next to you, or me, to use the language from the diagram. The stimulus was this, and my reaction was that. For example, recently, I was trying to Western Union here to Nigeria, and it didn't work. I was like, oh, I get so mad about it. But if I just take a moment and breathe through it, I wouldn't have gotten so mad. And found out another way of managing the problem. Now, imagine how things might have been differently if you experienced something in the classroom. How could things have been differently if you could just practice mindfulness with your students? This is a huge topic in the United States, actually, right now. That's why I'm sharing it with you, because teachers are leaving the profession. They're leaving because they're stressed out. And they can't manage their classrooms anymore. After COVID, I am not here, but in the United States, after COVID, students lost their minds. They don't know how to act anymore. They're depressed, they're anxious, they don't have resilience. COVID took away resilience from American students. And so all they know how to do now is react. They're not mindful. And so this practice now is to help students become more resilient. So as I said, there's some I'm about to finish up my presentation, but there's a couple populations that would work with it. For example, students who are having some significant stress or trauma often experience greater benefits with mindfulness as employees. I talked about executive function and how when students, that in fact when we introduce mindfulness, that they are more capable of reaching executive function to improve their outcomes. And another is for bullying. Does bullying happen here? Does bullying happen here?
Yes.
Nobody bullies anybody. No? That's one way to help change mindsets. Through mindfulness to improve outcomes. So, key considerations when you employ mindfulness in the classroom. As a teacher, it helps you regulate your own emotions which is really important. Also manage stress for yourself. When you practice with your students, you're helping yourself too, not just the students. And it's also showing compassion towards yourself. We always need to be easier on ourselves. Too hard, we expect too much. We need to show ourselves more compassion. For the class, it improves student-teacher relationships. It improves the environment of the classroom. And it also creates creativity, which is what we want our students to have. That is a 21st century skill. And we need our students to have. And then the same, pretty much, and I talked about resilience, it helps students be resilient. They can, if something bad good happens, they can bounce back. And so mindfulness can help improve students' ability to be resilient when they encounter barriers or challenges. And like I said, they become compassionate for others. Thank you so much for your time today. Here, we talk about how you do and how to easy resources quickly implement in your classroom.
I was very short about that's my girl that assisted the third row in the Women Missing. Esther Okoroko. No, you don't sound there. I give you or something. No, the one that was in the that I was working with. In fact, yes, Dr. Amanda was I was just forget what we say. Yeah, no, I know it's just it. You have done very well. It's one that we're now, what I wanted to bring out that lady spoke with the ex-address was